was alone, and being one of those guys who would grab a stick and pretend it was a lightsaber as a child. So the opportunity to pretend, in a step above what your normal role-playing thing would have been was just too much for me to pass up on. And knowing that a couple of guys from work were going to be participating, made it a little easier for me.
The story has a lot of parallels in gang culture.
By becoming a Sith Lord, becoming part of a gang, and then not being sure he wants to really be part of that gang.
Seems to be the way all Sith are. They're kind of manipulated into it. We see more in the flashbacks and stuff of how a Sith gets to that point and what they go through.
The problem is you are often put to a very difficult task for initiation before you are officially accepted into that gang, and that can have terrible consequences if you do decide to take that final step, if you don't decide to take that final step, or if you eventually become a member and then decide you want out.
I'm not extremely coordinated, so doing some of those fight scenes, it took a little bit extra once I actually practiced them and went through them. JJ was a really good help. Once I got those all squared away and into memory, it was a lot better.
I mean, these guys had already spent a few days and nights, whacking sticks together, so they had an idea. And Jesse, of course, was there too, and he was offering suggestions, and it was fun. And you gave us some latitude as far as being able to make suggestions and that sort of thing, and it made it kind of fun.
The weather was a little challenging. I think it made a good effect for the movie, having it be snowy that day.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a little challenging, getting there and staying warm. And
seeing everybody dressed up, actually doing the lightsaber fights.
That whole area down there was uniquely suited to our purposes. Just seemed very, very lucky to have that.
Their black Sith cloaks for the first time. That was really, really cool to see them fighting and to see some of the stuff come together.
I just remember the first time I was driving, I think, up to where we were filming, and I saw down in the area where we were going to be filming just a whole bunch of guys in Sith robes, and I knew I had arrived into another galaxy. And that was such a cool moment, just seeing them, the stark black robes against the white snow. That was a very beautiful moment.
All that time that was spent away from family and friends and that sort of stuff. What was the end product? And I think when it comes right down to it, I'm looking forward to it, and I think that our family and friends will be impressed and a little surprised, because I'm sure I'm going to sit there in the theater, and when as it's going on, I've got a little 4-year-old, and he's wondering, what I've been doing. He saw the black robes and all that sort of stuff, and he's going to be looking at this, and I'm going to say, "That's me. Which one? Which one?"
I know my wife was kind of like, "Well, you're kind of crazy, aren't you, for doing this thing?" And I said, "Well, it's going to be fun," and I had a lot of fun doing it. And now the same type of thing, like Jeff was saying, she's kind of wondering. She wants to see, what we were doing for 4 days, and what you guys are all doing for many other weekends and months, and so
there's definitely a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
There's a buzz, yeah.